Welcome to the To Be Brutally Honest show, everybody. This is episode, I don't know what number we're on now. We have Parker, Peyton, myself, Connor Mullen, and then we have special guest Pierce Parker up there, Notorious Jets fan. Yikes. Which brings me to the first topic of tonight. We're going to go over the Jets, and then we'll go over my Chargers because I kind of called them out on Twitter last week, or last time I posted, was that Monday, Tuesday? So, yeah, what do we think of the Jets draft thus far? We'll start with Schultz because he's, in between.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to start with a Jets fan. Well, I like the first round pick a lot. What's that?
He's biased, so why would we start with him?
All right.
Continue.
I like their first round draft pick with, I don't know how to say his first name, Becton from Louisville. He's not maybe the ideal pick that Jets fans might have wanted. It was kind of off and on between if they would draft a receiver or offensive tackle. But I kind of like the direction they went with in giving an offensive tackle to Sam Darnold. He's had no help on the line for the past 2 years of his career. And then in the second round, if I'm correct, they drafted Denzel Mims.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. Giving them some kind of receiver help. He's not one of the top picks on the board, but they did a nice job of filling two needs. So, yeah, I thought the Jets did fine. Not bad at all.
Okay.
Give it to the Jets.
I love it. Joe Douglas's first year as GM, I think he made some elite moves. I was a little shocked at the Becton pick when Tristan Wirfs was still on the board. Kind of bummed me out, but then I came to a realization. I think Joe Douglas knows a little bit more than me, especially in the O-line department. He's kind of an O-line guru, one would say. I think that Becton has elite size, elite run blocking capability. I think he's a little raw in pass protection, and that's something that Frank Pollock, the Jets' offensive line coach, is going to have to polish up a little bit. But besides that, I think he has elite traits, elite size, and he's a finisher. So I love that move. Second round with Denzel Mims, I love it even more. We traded back from 48 to 59, got an extra third-round pick, and we still got our man. I think he is a first-round talent. He has a limited route tree, but he has 4.38 speed, great hands, great contested catch ability, and I think we're giving Sam Darnold something to work with, and that's something that we haven't done these last few years.
Now, that's a fair assessment. Speaking objectively, getting an offensive tackle to protect Sam Darnold, I think, is going to be huge for him. Especially this. Is this the guy that jumped out of the pool?
No, that was the guy. That was Tristan Wirfs, who we passed on.
All right. Well, there you go. But what I'm reading here, obviously I don't pay attention to offensive tackles enough. They just say he's a freak athletically, and then if he keeps his weight in the right range, then he should be good. And then getting another skill player for Sam Darnold is a good move too. You can't just have Le'Veon Bell run the ball.
No. Le'Veon Bell averaged 3.2 yards per carry last year, so that was definitely something that we needed to work on. The thing that concerns me about Becton a little bit is his weight, like you mentioned. He's playing at 363 right now, and he said that he hopes to get down. Yeah, he said he hopes to get down to 350, 355. I think if he does that, on top of that, you can't play at 365 your entire career. You're not going to last. No. So I do think he needs to cut it down a little bit. But if he does that, which I think he does, he seems hungry, he seems motivated, then I think we probably got the best offensive tackle in the draft. Lowest floor, highest upside.
Nothing much?
No, not at all.
All right. So if we want to switch that conversation over to the Chargers.
I can go first on this one.
All right, take the wing then.
Horrible. I don't see how you pass on Simmons at 6. I understand if Herbert is your guy, then you go and get your guy. But I think when there's an elite prospect there like Simmons is, you can play all over the field. You don't really pass up on that.
I'll take the wing on that one. I actually disagree. Even though I like Simmons and the Cardinals got a steal at 8 with him, he's probably the second best defensive player in the draft. But in my opinion, if Herbert's just sitting there, you can't have Tyrod Taylor just sitting there as a franchise quarterback for years to come. So I liked what the Chargers did, and especially in the AFC West, which all of a sudden is loaded with offensive talent. You can't have Tyrod Taylor sitting back there and expecting for 300-yard games. So I actually liked what the Chargers did with Herbert. Even though he's not my favorite quarterback in the draft, they already have immediate weapons that they're going to surround him with, and it should help.
Well, here's the thing with the Herbert. So everybody was reading, or all the Chargers stuff that I follow on Twitter is like, we need two. I was like, well, you needed
Fans?
Okay. They all wanted two. I was like, great, but he's not going to be there. So Herbert was the next best option. And then, like you said, I think what the Chargers are going to do is what the Browns did with the same guy, Tyrod Taylor, came in. They'll start him in all the preseason games, maybe start him in the season, then take him out in the middle of the season, put Herbert in, see how the kid does. But hopefully it works better than Baker Mayfield. They surround him with good wide receivers like they did in Cleveland, and maybe they have a better outcome than Cleveland did last year. That's what I think is going to happen. It may be a little bit shorter, but I don't think they won't wait till the middle or like the end of the season, even though the Browns did beat the Jets that year.
I agree with what you're saying, but what the Chargers did was they traded back into the first and they picked Kenneth Murray, who is a less athletic version of Simmons. Still good, great ball hawk, great speed. He's a field general, but I don't think any teams besides Miami and the Chargers, were dying to get Herbert. So I think that they could have used that pick on Simmons, traded back into the first round, and maybe picked Herbert around 15 or something without losing that much value in the draft.
Yeah. Connor?
I mean, well, they traded with the Pats. So let's be real. If Herbert's still there, do you think Bill Belichick is trading away to get or trading that pick? If he has a chance to take Justin Herbert, you think he's not going to take that guy in the first round?
I mean, I don't know what Bill's
He absolutely
thinking.
would. He's a prototypical New England Patriots quarterback.
Bill also took a D2 safety in the second round.
Because everybody questions what Bill does, but then like when it pays off 3 years later, they're like, "Oh, wow, what a weird take!" Like Bill Belichick did it again. Like he just went back in the third round, like 2 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I agree.
So, if he's still on the board, yeah.
All right, so transitioning to our next topic, since we're already talking about quarterbacks. So there was 4 quarterbacks selected in the first round. Starting off with Joe Burrow, what do you guys think of his fit with Cincinnati?
A+. I think Burrow's an Ohio boy. You really can't get better than that. I think it was pretty much written in the script that Burrow was going 1. And I think he's going to lead that franchise. Everyone acts like the Bills have been poverty for years.
What?
They also forget those years that Bills were the best team in the –
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, that the Bengals were the best team in the AFC North, correct? Yeah. So I don't think the Bengals are poverty, and I think Joe Burrow is the absolute person to lead that franchise with this confidence.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's like an A+ prospect like some people think. But I do think he's going to be a good starting quarterback. I've heard people mention crazy names out there, Brady, Manning, but I think like one that's appropriate for him is Tony Romo. If he can be Tony Romo, then the Bengals could at least hang around close to the playoffs with some kind of talent around him. But I think Burrow will be good, and it was kind of an obvious pick.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta go Joe Burrow there, and then I don't know if you guys saw, but like they came out with a story where everything he's done, he's been a winner. Like even in Little League baseball and football, like he's never lost.
Mm-hmm.
So if he takes that same mentality going into Cincinnati, like that's going to be a big deal. Plus, it brings up another question: what are they going to do with Andy Dalton? Andy Dalton could start for a couple teams.
At New England.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that they got to look at is: are they just going to go Joe Burrow right out of the gate, or are they going to give Andy Dalton the chance to solidify his spot? Which it won't happen because you just spent all that money on him. But they're going to have to trade Andy Dalton somewhere. So that's a big question, too. Same with Cam Newton. Where's he going to go?
I don't see a problem with Andy Dalton Andy Dalton kind of mentoring Joe Burrow for a year, even if he's not the starter. let him sit behind Joe Burrow, let him teach him a little bit. Andy Dalton was not a bad quarterback by any means. I think he got clowned a little bit for no reason, but I don't see. Yeah,
No,
he's an elite.
Red Rocket himself. Parker, you have anything to add?
I mean, I feel like I don't know anything about the Bengals, but I feel like might just like kind of flip the script for them. They're definitely going to get better. I mean, just judging off of like from a confidence standpoint, I saw a video a couple years ago of Andy Dalton giving like a pep talk before a game. This guy's the worst. I mean, I don't know. He wouldn't be able to motivate me to do anything. But then like last year, seeing Joe Burrow's in the playoffs and like just his confidence, it's definitely going to be good for the team.
All right, and then the next one, Tua to Miami.
Miami it was basically a flip of the coin, whoever they wanted to take. So it was either going to be Herbert or Tua. According to you guys, Tua was the better guy. I don't know about. I mean, you guys tend to agree, but it's risky with his injury, so you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's saying he's healthy, but you still don't know until he gets there.
Didn't he like break a hip a couple months ago?
Dislocated his hip, and then he had 2 previous ankle surgeries the year before.
Yeah, it's the same injury as Bo Jackson had.
Yeah, essentially. Pierce?
I think Tua is an elite prospect, great culture guy, but obviously there is concerns over his frail body type. So I think that is something that the Dolphins have to look at, but at the same time, there's no way you could pass up on him there. The Dolphins did it once already with Drew Brees, and if they pass on Tua right there, he's going to haunt them for years.
Yep.
Obviously, I don't like Tua in the AFC East, being a Jets fan, but I think he's going to be elite if he can stay healthy.
Yeah. Parker?
Well, I mean, they tanked for Tua, and they got him, so.
Yeah, I mean, you're totally right on that. And at the 5th pick. But yeah, so I think Miami kind of had to take this risk, and if they would have went with Herbert, I don't think I would have judged them either, because the more and more I've thought about it over the course of the week, I think Herbert's going to be a pretty good player, regardless of what team he was on. But I do like Tua's upside, and if he turns out to be really good, with Tom Brady just leaving that division, it's wide open. So Miami's aggressiveness in taking him shows me that they're going to take the risk whether it pays off or not. So I think that's a winning mentality. That's what you want from your starting quarterback, is having – there's a chance he could suck, and there's a chance that he could be the next Drew Brees, like some people say. So even though I don't think he's the next Drew Brees, I think there's a chance he's going to be really good. So I thought it was, again, like Burrow, I thought it was obvious for Miami. So I liked that one, and I'm not going to judge them for that. But we'll move on to Herbert to the Chargers. We kind of already discussed it a little bit. Anyone have to add any more?
No, you got it, Connor.
No, like you said, you can't have Tyrod Taylor be your franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of had to pick a quarterback there. So that he was the best available quarterback.
Parker, you got anything?
Not really. I mean, I've heard Tyrod Taylor's name on and off for the past few years, and I feel like if he would have emerged, it would have been in the past. So, yeah, I don't think he's a franchise quarterback at all.
Pierce?
I mean, I think that Herbert definitely has to sit for a year. I think he needs to learn the game a little bit. He needs to fix his mechanics up. I think if they throw him into the fire this year, it's not going to be pretty. But
especially in the AFC West.
Oh, yeah, stacked AFC West. But the problem with that is the Chargers have a team that's ready to contend right now, and Tyrod Taylor is not going to lead them to the promised land. 0 chance. So
I'm agreeing with everything you guys are saying on that. And then with our final quarterback topic, leaves us with Jordan Love to the Green Bay Packers. So there's a lot of controversy about this. We'll get into my opinion on it in a little bit. But, Parker, do you have any thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, my dad's a Green Bay fan, so I kind of follow them a little bit. I definitely doesn't give a lot of confidence to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's definitely getting up there in age. Still a good quarterback, but I feel like it's kind of showing him the way to the door. Maybe it's not right now, but within the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So not great, but And I feel like I heard it was like the first quarterback taken in the first round by Green Bay since Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, the first skill position player they've taken.
So, I mean, that's a sign. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Pierce, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, I know that you and Connor hated the pick, and I didn't feel that same way. I think that Matt LaFleur got his guy. He traded up for him. He got what he wanted. And I think if you give him 2 years behind Rodgers, there's no reason why he can't go and light up the league. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is not going to be the best mentor. That is well documented. And he's not going to feel too good about that pick, especially when they were just in the NFC Championship last year and could have added someone such as Justin Jefferson, but he might have been off the board already. But there was an abundance of wide receivers or running backs that Green Bay could have gone with. But I don't mind the pick. I think that if you're a coach and you like a certain guy, you go and get that guy.
Connor, you want to go or you want me to take it?
I'll go.
Okay.
I think what they're trying to do is recreate what they did with Favre and Rodgers. They're trying to strike gold twice, which it's risky, but if it works, they're going to be hailed as geniuses for doing it. Now, personally, I don't like it because it worked once, but is it going to work again? So I don't like betting on those odds. We got 10 minutes left on this thing. Yeah, that's my take on it. I mean, why, like Pierce said, you just went to the NFC Championship with one of the best quarterbacks in this decade. So why are you – I mean, he's getting up there in age, but so is Tom Brady. So, like, why can't Aaron Rodgers play till he's 42?
Yeah, so building off that, when I first saw this, I thought it was probably the worst draft pick I've seen at least in 10 years. And that thought process hasn't changed. I'm just shocked by the stupidity of Green Bay in this. So a lot of people have said it's like what happened with Rodgers and Favre. But at the time when Rodgers was happening, there was people saying he was the number one prospect in the draft. And then he fell to the 24th spot. At that point, I mean, I'm not going to say they were aiming to get him, but he was the best available player for arguably 24 spots, like people said. So he almost fell into their lap. In this case, I couldn't tell – I don't know anyone that thought Jordan Love was the best prospect in this draft by any means. So the fact that Matt LaFleur got his his guy, per se, I see nothing more in Jordan Love. And it's not even like disrespect to him. I think he's okay. He's a decent prospect, but he's going to be thrown into the fire with this, have more pressure than anyone all of a sudden. He's going to have to be behind Rodgers, who's, let's just be honest, he doesn't even talk to his family. So what makes you think he's going to talk to his backup quarterback? So it makes no sense to me. People have pointed to like a statistics drop for Rodgers, but I looked this up. 2 years ago, he had 25 touchdowns at 2 interceptions. Least interceptions in the league for any player that started all 16 games. This year, he had 26 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, and people want to call that a drop. And I don't even like Aaron Rodgers, but it makes no sense to me, especially when you're the best team in the division right now. We're 13-3, where one way went from a Super Bowl. You had no one to throw to in the NFC Championship game other than Devontae Adams. It makes zero sense to me. I'm done.
I agree. I agree with that. I saw a quote on Twitter today saying that you don't draft for today, you draft for tomorrow, and I think that's a good case of this. I think that Jordan Love, obviously Matt LaFleur sees something in him. Big arm, athletic. Obviously needs to sit for a couple of years, but like you said, you don't draft for today, you draft for tomorrow. And I don't see why there's any reason why Jordan Love can't be the best quarterback out of this class.
Yeah,
with all of his traits.
I just think that the teams that are too worried about drafting for tomorrow instead of today are the ones that aren't going to win a Super Bowl.
That's fair.
Yeah, I just think it's that simple. There's a reason Green Bay's won 2 Super Bowls with 2 of the best quarterbacks ever in a 25-year span. And people call Aaron Rodgers the most talented player ever, but he's been stuck in Green Bay his whole career. So imagine if he was on the Patriots. Not saying he'd get along with Bill Belichick by any means, but
No, not at all. Not at all.
But yeah, I'm very, very against this, and not if I was a Packer fan, I wouldn't be happy.
Well, no
I think
disrespect to Jordan Love, but like you went to Utah State.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not bashing Utah State, but like, well, I'm kind of bashing Utah State. Like, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So
no,
like,
I totally agree with that.
at least like it just was so out of the blue for me because it came from Utah State. Like, I'd never heard of this person before until yesterday.
And then, meanwhile, the top two quarterbacks taken were playing in the SEC against good defenses, great defenses compared to college football. So,
I mean, if we're going to talk about where quarterbacks are coming from, though, Patty Mahomes went to Texas Tech, not exactly a powerhouse.
what was that? Say that again. I was kind of lagging.
I said that if we're going to talk about where quarterbacks are coming from, we could look at Patty Mahomes, Texas Tech. Not like Texas Tech is an absolute football powerhouse.
That's an outlier, though.
Yeah, one, he's an outlier. Two, he was playing against Big Ten defenses and throwing 40 touchdowns a year. Jordan Love led college football in interceptions last year.
He also had no talent around him.
Yeah,
look at
Because he went to Utah State.
Because he went to Utah State, exactly. How much can you expect out of him? It's the same thing with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So, like, if I would get it if he had a good year last year and he didn't lead the NCAA in interceptions. Like, if he had a good year and there was no talent around him, like, I get it. Then you can pick him. But bad and he had no talent around him, then he just must not be that good.
And I don't even think he's not good. I actually do think he can find some kind of success in the NFL. I mean, Green Bay just went to 13-3. So say they plug him in 2 years. Don't lose a ton of players from this current roster. I think he can be okay. He showed enough promise. It's just, do you take that risk to replace one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in many people's eyes, to replace him from a guy that played at like a borderline D2?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but if we're talking about his production, obviously it dropped off. I just looked at some stats here. 2019 threw the second most picks in college football, 20 touchdowns, 17 picks. But if we go to 2018, when he didn't lose, when he had his skill position guys, threw for 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And with a completion percentage of 64.
Which is good.
Yes, it's great. Obviously, he is playing at Utah State, so not playing the best skill. But I don't really think you can deny that production. The drop-off to 2019 is scary, however.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're good with the quarterbacks. Connor, do you want to start this right now, or do you want to cut the video and then go into it?
We'll cut it, and then I'll send a new thing. It should take like 2 seconds.
Okay.
All right.
In a second.
All right, and we are back. Peyton can't see his face. We don't know why. We're not tech wizards over here. We just do a podcast or video cast, whatever the hell this is. So we're back with our next topic. What is the best pick of the draft thus far, do you think? We'll go with Pierce.
All right. I wrote down a couple here, but I think my ultimate best pick of the draft is CeeDee Lamb to the Cowboys. Really, all I have to say about that is wow. I think putting CeeDee Lamb in that already dynamic offense is going to be a sight to see, and I'm not even a Cowboy fan. I think him taking Randall Cobb's spot is just going to lead for more opportunities, not only in the run game, or not only in the pass game, but the run game as well. I think it's going to open up holes for Zeke. I think the play action game is going to be there, and I think that the Cowboys are going to be super dynamic on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I mean, they have a lot of weapons, like you said, but adding just that extra guy is going to be tough to defend all over the league. It's going to be like another version of the Chiefs down there in the NFC. I mean, they're still the Cowboys. They're going to blow it, but and there's the weird noise from Payne Schultz. Guys, a mess.
Yeah.
You guys are messed down there.
All right, I'll take it on this one. So my best pick of the first round, Javon Kinlaw to the 49ers.
Oh.
I just really liked what the 49ers did in the first round in general. The fact that they were able to get a defensive lineman to fill the Buckner hole, I really like that. And then them moving in at the end of the first round for the 25th pick for Brandon Ayuk, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I just thought that they enforced that their D-line is dominant. Originally, I thought San Francisco might take a bit of a step back if they didn't address the needs in this draft. But, I mean, I can't fault them for getting a really, really fast wide receiver in Ayuk. And so, yeah, I really liked them. That was probably my team in the first.
All right, I'll go with mine. The late round, or late in the round, I should say. The Chiefs added Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
That guy adding just another dimension to that Chiefs already offensive juggernaut. Just adding him out of the backfield, he can catch, he can run, and he led the NCAA in missed tackles. So he's just another elusive guy. With their wide receiving core that they have, they're going to be impossible to stop. So it just comes down to their defense at this point. And hopefully nobody gets injured. If people get injured, it's a different story. But they have that wide receiving core, and then it's going to be over. So that's my best pick of the draft. I mean, they needed defense, but they just got on the running back. So, Parker?
So I'm going to interpret best pick of the draft as in biggest change to the team.
All right.
That, I'm going to write it Joe Burrow.
Can't go wrong.
Because I don't really know people that got drafted. But a couple years ago, I would have said Jalen Hurts because, I mean, he was probably the biggest college quarterback in the country. But then, obviously, that national championship game when Tua took over. Then after that, it would have been Tua. But he's very injury-prone as of late. So we're gonna ride with Joe Burrows because I feel like he's going to be a better quarterback in the future than Andy Dalton. And, I mean, his confidence, at least in the college level, I mean, obviously naturally being a fifth-year quarterback, you're like kind of the MOC. Big man on campus.
Yep.
So, I mean, obviously that gives you a little bit of confidence, but that guy just oozed confidence.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like he's going to bring confidence not just to himself, but all of his teammates. And I feel like just based off that, he's pretty valuable.
All right, that's
I think
respectable.
another team that I would like to add in there is the Vikings. I think they have
Okay,
a
yeah.
great first round. I think they probably had the best first round for me, not just single pick, but getting Justin Jefferson there, filling in that Stephon Diggs hole was huge. I think Justin Jefferson is an immense talent. And then also getting back there and grabbing Jeff Gladney, the cornerback out of TCU, which is my favorite college football team besides Oklahoma. I think that they completely nailed it, especially with losing Xavier Rhodes, losing Trey Waynes. I think they filled two positions in needs, and I think they did it with elite prospects.
I'll throw in quickly Patrick Queen, Baltimore. I'll keep it simple. Rich get richer. Adds just another good player to that defense. Will be the best defense in the NFL next year. Just Baltimore doesn't miss on drafts
Ever.
Sure. All right. Do we even want to go over least favorite pick?
I would
All
like
right,
to.
All right, let's go over it.
We'll
Let's
go
start
over
with
it.
you then, big guy.
All right. I think kind of bouncing off Peyton there, I think the worst pick of the first round was from the Seahawks, Jordan Brooks. They had Patrick Queen on a silver platter right in front of them for the taking, and they go with Jordan Brooks, who wasn't projected to go until day 2. It just really didn't make sense to me. I think Patrick Queen was the pick there, and I just really don't see what Pete Carroll's doing there. And the Seahawks are infamously bad at drafting. That's not a thing that's new.
Yeah. I'll take the wings on this one. It'll probably come not as a surprise, but I'll discontinue the Packers from this conversation. But the atrocity known as the Raiders takes the cake for both of their picks. Henry Ruggs, people want to say he's the spirit of Al Davis because he's fast. Well, he can be the spirit of Al Davis all he wants, but they just passed over Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb in order to get him. That made just about no sense. The Raiders are just trying to copy the Chiefs by getting Tyreek Hill, or so in their eyes. And then even worse, on their 19th pick, they just reach for a corner, Damon Arnett. He wasn't that high on, I don't think anyone's board, but the Raiders reach into their bag of tricks as usual. It's got nothing but failure in it.
Damn, that's tough. I mean, you guys pretty much covered it all. Obviously, we talked about the Packers earlier, so that was my worst pick, and then you guys covered the rest. So, Parker, you got anything?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Not a big.
Adding on to Peyton's comment, just quick, I think that Mike Mayock may be the worst GM in the league.
He
His
did
voice
get
is
Josh
terrible.
Jacobs, though.
Got Josh Jacobs, but I think he's big name hunting. That's what he's proven these last 2 years. He's a big name hunter. He likes players from the SEC. He likes to go to the Big 12. I just don't really see what Mike Mayock is doing
Clemson.
at all.
Is that the Raiders GM?
Yep.
Yes.
That guy's hair. Yeah, dollars. They choose that.
That's the Raiders owner, their big guy that you're talking about.
Same thing though. Like, jeez.
All right, we're switching. Well, we're not really switching. We're going to the stunning move. Tight end land Tampa Bay now, I guess, because they got 3 good ones. So what do we think of Rob Gronkowski going down to Tampa Bay? Yep, I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
I'll take this one real quick. From a passing standpoint, I think it's being a little overblown. I mean, Gronk's going to be good. He's not going to be great at this point in his career. Taking the year off will help him stay in the field, but he's going to miss a game or two because he's Gronk. But I will say the thing that's really going to help Tampa Bay with having him there is his blocking ability and just his comfortability already with Brady in just big moments. Fourth quarter, Brady's probably going to look his way. I don't think it's as big of a move as people are saying. It's not a bad one by any means. Don't get me wrong, especially getting him for 1 year, $10 million. There's no risk to it. But I'll take the angle of from a blocking perspective. I do like this for Tampa Bay, especially having a questionable run game.
I would agree with everything you said. Obviously, he's not going to be Gronk of the past. We're not going to see these huge numbers, huge touchdowns. But I think that him and Brady obviously formed quite a chemistry down there in New England. And I think he's going to come up huge in certain moments. I did find it kind of as a surprise just because they took O.J. Howard in the first 2 years ago. So that was a little bit shocking to me. But I think Bruce Arians and Tom Brady are going to eat up those 2 tight end sets just like they did, or just like Brady did in New England. And I think that the Bucs have a serious chance to be an NFC powerhouse.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I actually disagree with Peyton. I think his passing numbers, because if you look at him now, like he's kind of slimmed down. He's not as muscular. So I think he's going to be a little bit faster than what he was his last year. Obviously, he's got the back stuff and all that. But I think he's going to be faster, and that's going to be harder to stop when he's running out. You know, they're going to have to put a linebacker on him, and I think he outruns most linebackers.
I'll take one out of Stephen A's playbook. He once called Gronk peg-legged in his last year in the NFL, so he can't get much worse.
Yeah, but I think that year off really helped him. I mean, he did literally whatever he wanted. So,
well, I mean, he
took
joined
belt,
right? I don't know how many months he was in there. But didn't he?
Yeah, he won a championship. The WWE.
Oh, yeah.
Like, obviously, like, you got to move around a little bit, but I don't think it takes, like, the most cardio in terms of, like, running and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, he's slimmer, but can he run faster? Can he run for, like, the same distances that he used to? No.
I mean, he's got plenty of time to gain that back. I mean, he was only gone for a year, so since we got this corn.
Gronk got skinny, though. Like, I know he said he didn't lose that much weight. That's what all the reports coming out, but he looks skinny throughout this last year. And I think that's pretty concerning, especially in the run game.
Yeah, he might get bullied around a little bit. But, I mean, he's got plenty of time, especially during this quarantine. What's he going to do? So he might just go down and lift, and he'll be bulked up in, like, 2 months. He'll be fun.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, so let's switch it to the Bolts. Came out with new uniforms. Absolutely nasty how good those look.
Yep.
Just the lightning bolt down the leg really did it for me.
Yep.
That's just the most elite thing I've ever seen on a uniform. So
Yeah, I give the Chargers some crap sometimes, but I've never given them crap for their uniforms. Kind of going off the theme I said about Patrick Queen earlier, the rich get richer. These jerseys are amazing. The navy blue is one of the best uniforms I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I just love that uniform. I like the addition of the throwback number on the helmet. Chargers used to have that there. I mean, they're pretty awesome.
Agree 100%. 10 out of 10. Can't really get much better than that. I was a little skeptical at first when I saw just the basic picture of the jerseys, of the white top with the yellow bottoms. And then I saw Derwin James in that picture wearing it, and I fell in love. That he looks so swagged out. And
they coming back to the Bolts now or what?
Let me address that real quick, actually, because I never really got a chance to earlier. Yes, the rumors are true. I was once a Charger fan, but in my defense, I love USC football. I used to love USC football, not anymore. And I love TCU football. LaDainian Tomlinson, TCU. I was more of a college football fan. He went to New York, got the franchise there, had my favorite player in NFL history, Jeremy Curley, former TCU Horned Frog. We got Joe McKnight, USC, LT. That's my reason for switching over to New York, and I haven't looked back since. It might have been the worst decision I ever made in my life, if I'm being quite frank. But that is my excuse for switching over, and I'm glad that I got to address that.
All I needed to hear.
Well, you can't switch teams when you're older than 14, except you just look like you're trying to choose the better team, Connor.
Oh, yeah, Connor did that.
Unless your name is Connor Mullen, of course.
Timeout.
Your name is Connor Mullen.
Hey, timeout. I'm gonna need a full timeout here.
Hear it.
So I switched over to the Titans. They were not good at that time. Can we agree when I switched over?
You switched over because you said Marcus Mariota was a really good quarterback.
Dude, coming out of college, did we not think he was a good quarterback?
No, I've always thought Mariota is trash.
Okay, well, cool beans, man. I thought he was good. I didn't watch football that much at the time. So I was like, I like this guy. I'm going to go over the Titans. Then I realized how bad Marcus Mariota was. I was tired of seeing our best player being the kicker. No disrespect to the kickers, but our best player was Ryan Suckup for those years, and
Yep.
I'm sorry. Like, we won games like 12-9. That was the score. Like, that, I don't want to watch that. So I was like, hey, Gunslinging Phil, my true love, my true homie, I'll be there. I was back.
So then why aren't you a Colts fan now?
Yeah, you switch over to the Colts? Like, what are you doing?
Because that's too much switching around. I can't do that to the MIG fans out there. I got it. Plus, I'm a big Notre Dame guy. And, yeah, I don't know how that –
What's that have to do with anything?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a player from Notre Dame.
I don't know.
The Bolts.
I'm a Dodger guy. That means I'm a Broncos fan.
Shut the hell up. So, basically, I was a Charger fan back when Jackie Battle was the running back. Yeah, Jackie Battle was his name. Okay? That's his name.
I know.
You're old enough.
That's a sick name. Okay, so that was my favorite player growing up was Jackie Battle. So
When was this?
I don't know, like 2009, around there.
Okay.
Jackie Battle.
Not familiar with Jackie Battle.
The bowling ball was there.
I'm surprised you weren't a Danny Woodhead guy.
Tolbert. Oh, Danny
Yeah,
Woodhead.
whatever Tolbert
What a
was there.
name.
So exactly. So I'm back on the Bolts. All the haters can say what they want. I'm adding to your Charger. Like if I'm not there, you have 49 fans. If I'm there, I'm 50. So at least we're an even number. So
Right.
plus my nephew's middle name is Philip. Okay, so like I can't say we're not Charger fans. Like let's be real here. Yes, it is named after Philip Rivers. You can look it up.
I must
Parker, you got
admit,
anything
as you
to add?
guys.
No, I don't. Or well, about the jerseys, yeah.
Okay.
Boys are nice.
Parker, those navy blues are all you.
Oh, boy. Oh, I mean, I like the powder blues. Don't get me wrong; those are nice.
Classic.
Navy blue. Those are not too flashy. They're just clean. You know.
Couldn't have said it better.
No. Going back to the Charger topic real quick, I think as most of you know, I do have a dog named Charger, and it does pain me every single day to call him by his first name.
Is he still alive?
So he is still alive. He's kicking the bucket though. Let me tell you.
What a
Just start
sad-
calling him Jet for a while.
I think that's a little late in his career to start calling him Jet. I just really don't call him by his first name. It makes me think.
He's got more years
than the
left
Chargers.
than Phillip.
Yeah, he does have more years than Phillip. Most likely. I don't know how many good years he has left though. Just like Phillip.
Connor, you want to go into the next topic?
Yeah, yeah. Once you guys are finished, I mean, I can't even see your face, you jabroni. So maybe you can figure that out. So next topic, we're switching over to MLB. We need to build the perfect MLB player using 5 tools. So you can take a tool from each guy. It can be all-time guys to build a player to play in today's game. So we'll start with Parker Drummond because he looks thrilled to answer the question.
I've been thinking about this the entire show. I didn't really see the question until about 5 minutes before the show. So, I mean, arm. It was kind of hard to me at first, but then I started thinking, I was like, this is super hard. Bo Jackson. I mean, he's throwing people out off of his heels. I mean, it's unreal. And I mean, just in terms of all-around athletes, guy's great. Running, I'm mostly building an outfielder here. I mean, I don't really want to switch like positions because then I don't know. Running, Billy Hamilton's fast, but I don't want to take Billy Hamilton because that guy's just a joke. Let's see. We'll set that aside for a sec. Power, Barry Bonds. I don't care. Like, yeah, he did steroids. Get over it. Well, but power. Contact. Cody Bellinger at the beginning of last season. I mean,
yep.
Unbelievable. What's the other one aside of
Fielding?
Fielding. Mike Trout. Flashy plays, fundamentally sound. Can't go wrong with that guy's speed. We'll go Cody Bellinger because that guy's unreal.
I'll take the wings on this next one.
You're taking the wings on a lot of things today.
I mean, what's new? So speed, there seems to be one correct answer for this. Ricky Henderson, 14,006 stolen bases, first in MLB history. So that one wasn't too hard for me. Power, Bonds was good, like Parker said, but I don't like steroid users, so I'll take the legit Hank Aaron, 755 career home runs. Contact, this is tough because there's 2 that I feel like really stand out. I'll try and get ahead of Connor on this one, and I'll say Tony Gwynn on this one. Yeah. I'll say Tony Gwynn. So in his total career, 10,232 plate appearances, but only 434 strikeouts. Quite impressive. Didn't strike out. Tony Gwynn's the man. Arm strength. I love this guy. Nobody doesn't like him. Ichiro, 10-time Gold Glove winner. Missile. And then fielding, I'll stick with like a modern day one. Best defensive player in the league right now, Nolan Arenado. Can't go wrong with them. But yeah, so that's my 5.
I'll take over here on this one. I'm using only current players here. I know you guys kind of dipped into the Hall of Fame pool, but I decided to stick with current. Speed, okay. I think Peyton knows for sure. I told Connor earlier, my old favorite player, D. Gordon. Love him. Love him. Power, I'm going over to Aaron Judge. Sorry, Connor. I got one that Connor's going to like here. Contact, I'm going to J.D. Martinez.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's a good move. Yep.
Arm strength. I don't see how you can't pick Puig in this situation.
Yes.
Throwing darts all around the diamond. And then lastly, fielding. I don't really know if you guys are going to agree with this one, but Jason Hayward, Mr. Reliable, maybe not with the bat in his hands, but with the glove.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. I'm not going to
So-
disagree with the fielding one. He's
Yeah,
pretty much
so-
a liability in the box, but
Oh yeah, 100%. But that's my list.
All right, I guess I'll go. I'll take the wings on this one. For speed, Peyton already said Ricky Henderson, so I'm gonna go with Brooks Robinson, who was the all-time stolen base leader before Ricky Henderson. I should know that. Power, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go Bonds because he still had to put the barrel on the bat or the barrel on the ball. So.
But I feel like the steroids gave him the power. He had the contact, but
Okay, so I'll pick a different guy then. Whatever.
well, I mean, never mind.
I have different guys. Like, all right, yeah. Then I'll go Roger Maris for power. Yeah, I went to a Yankee. That's where I'm at.
good move.
Okay. Contact Teddy Ballgame, of course, best hitter of all time. You could go Pete Rose though, so that's a up for debate.
Yeah.
Little tidbit for you. Arm strength, Roberto Clemente. Have you seen
That's good.
that video from he threw the ball from the right field wall to home plate?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Almost like Puig's done that before too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it bounced.
Ramon Laureano, remember that guy?
Yeah. For the A's, that guy's got a cannon.
Absolute dart.
And then fielding, I'll go. Let's go Javier Baez.
All right.
He can pick it. So
He's got the best hands in the game.
Yeah.
Makes errors though. I don't know.
well, so does Marcus Semien. So
Oh,
and
okay.
he's an MVP candidate.
Yeah, that guy is a freaking joke.
All right.
Yeah, do you want to swing it to the next topic, faceless man?
Yeah, let's go with that idea. So we're talking about the most valuable athletes in sports. Take one. It can be from any league, any position, anything. Whatever you determine is the most valuable.
Right now.
Right now in sports. So Parker, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I'll take
I know
the-
Parker's.
Well, I mean, I might throw you off right now. I mean, I am gonna hop on a little bit of a bandwagon here. In terms of impact he has on the sport, impact he has on teams that he's on, and just overall like body and power and stuff. LeBron James,
That's right.
unreal. Like any team he's on, like maybe they don't make the playoffs, but they get significantly better. I mean, he's got probably like, if you're making a body for basketball, I feel like he's got all the tools. Maybe give him a couple more inches, but I mean, he's good.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Pierce, I feel like it might be something similar with you, so we'll hand
I
it
got
to you.
3 letters to say. LBJ, LeBron James, hands down, on and off the court, the most impactful athlete ever.
Ever?
That is
Off the
big
court
words.
ever.
Jackie
Ever.
Robinson.
No. Sorry.
Ever.
Muhammad
just
Ali
wrong.
died, or did he ever exist?
Jackie
Debate with
Robinson. That guy
the, debate
exists?
with the wall. Debate with the
Jackie
wall.
was a little bit impactful.
If there's no Jackie Robinson, there's no LeBron James.
Correct.
I tend to agree.
Yeah, you even know it. Yeah, you. So that was
Ever is big words. That's huge.
I'm going to go
most
as far to say he's the
impactful
most,
off the court
yes, on and off the court, and
ever.
the best basketball player to ever grace the hardwood.
Get this
ever.
guy out of here.
Connor, you want to take over in response?
I'll take the wings on this one. As far as monetary wise, you could say Mike Trout because he's the highest paid athlete right now.
In the United States.
Sure. But I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna take Peyton's. I'm gonna take Tiger Woods.
That's not mine, actually.
He was up there though. You're probably gonna say Joe Flacco or something.
Joe Flacco.
Tiger Woods for the game of golf and what he is doing for the game of golf is bigger than any other guy that you have been mentioned
I agree with
in
that.
this debate, because he made golf cool. So, and he's creating more and more people to fall in love with the game of golf, when it's pretty hard to fall in love with. But once you watch Tiger, it's pretty easy to watch because he's so powerful and electric what he does. So
Until
that's
he
what
got a
I'm going.
DUI.
Yeah, but we're talking right now. So that was in the past.
Okay. So I do like Connor's point in terms of the impact on his sport. Tiger is as relevant in his sport as anyone. The way I'm going to determine value is, so if you took this player on their team, how much would it impact that team? So I'm going to go to the NFL. I'm going to go to the quarterback position. I'm not going to go where many people thought. You could make the argument for Patrick Mahomes. You can make the argument for Lamar Jackson. But in terms of –
he's going to go top.
So in terms of when he started his career, this team without him, I might be biased because I like this athlete a lot, but Russell Wilson is so valuable to the Seahawks right now. Right now we're talking about Russell Wilson. Okay, let me explain.
No.
Since he was drafted in a quarterback class with Andrew Luck and RG3, who at the time people thought was an elite player, he has never had a losing season. He has only had one season where he was at 9-7 or less. He's never missed the playoffs. He's completely franchise. He's in his career 227 touchdowns, 68 interceptions. He has the second best passer rating in NFL history behind Aaron Rodgers, who many people think is the best ever in terms of his talent, as stated earlier. So for how long Russell Wilson's done it, he's continuing to do it. He gets better every year. Seattle's a contender every year. I'm going a little outside the box, and I actually think Mahomes is really close. But I do think with how much talent they have in Kansas City, as Matt Moore proved this year, they could still win. I think if you take Russell Wilson off Seattle, they're 2-14.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think Mahomes has the experience. Obviously, he's been in the league a couple of years, but I wouldn't call him the most impactful or the best. I don't know. You compared him to Andrew Luck and Robert Griffin III. Andrew Luck's not in the league anymore. Robert Griffin III, has he ever really been in the league? Well, I mean, yeah, he has, but
1 year.
Has he been there?
Yeah, no,
For a
I
couple
totally.
years.
And I think that speaks to his longevity too, in terms of comparing those. Russell Wilson was drafted in the 3rd round compared to the other two at the first 2 picks. So I think you make a good point in saying that just speaks to how much Russell's meant to Seattle as a whole.
I just mean, I think you're comparing him to the wrong people. I mean, yeah, they're high picks, but they obviously didn't stick around.
I could compare him to Tom Brady too, and I could say if you take Tom Brady, I don't technically agree with this, but you could take Tom Brady out of New England in his time. It's questionable how much success he would have with what many people say is the best coach of all time. That's just another quarterback that many people would say is valuable.
Well, we gonna see.
Yeah, exactly. We are gonna see. Connor,
I
you don't
agree with.
Well, yeah, I was holding up the trash can. This is a terrible take.
Yeah, Connor, why don't you go? Why don't you go?
Okay, you said Russell Wilson taking him off the team, but in your question that you typed, you said who was the most valuable athlete in sports right now. Okay,
yeah, I stand by that.
You're going to let me finish, faceless man. Okay, you said valuable athlete, which is fine, okay, to the team. But if he's off the field, what does he do? That's what you're not putting in.
Wilson, that dude's at St. Jude's every weekend with kids.
What is he doing for the game of football that Lamar Jackson isn't doing?
He was the first 5'10" quarterback to take the league by storm. He's the most unique player since Steve Young.
Why are you forgetting Drew Brees when you say that sentence?
Yeah, pocket passer. I'm talking mobility, moving in and outside the pocket. No disrespect to Drew Brees. 6th best quarterback of all time at the Golden Angelinos newest article. But
self plug.
Yeah,
no free ads.
Russell Wilson has completely changed the game in terms of what's expected out of the quarterback. I just believe that. I don't believe there's a Lamar Jackson right now without Russell Wilson's success. And I love Lamar Jackson too.
I don't know if I completely agree with that statement at all. I'm not questioning Russell Wilson's ability. I would say he's the second best quarterback in the league right now. But I think when you think football, the first name you're not thinking of is Russell, or the first name you're thinking of is not Russell Wilson. And that's kind of what so exactly, that's what the question asks. Who's the most impactful on their sport? If you're saying that Russell Wilson has the most.
It's the same thing.
Not same thing. Impact is how you're impacting the others around you. Valuable.
You just said what? No. You just said if you took Russell Wilson off the team, the Seahawks go 2-14. You just.
But that's how I'm determining. That's how I'm.
But that's
saying
impact.
What value is? That's what value is.
So impact and value are the same thing by your definition.
No, impact is how you're affecting others around you.
That's what you just said.
No, I didn't.
You're saying Russell Wilson is impacting the players around him because they go 13-3 every year.
No, I did not make that argument once. I didn't. I said Russell Wilson, and I ran down the stats with you.
If you take him, you said if you take him off the Seahawks, they go 2-14. Do you deny it?
I said that.
So there you go.
But you're putting words in my mouth saying that I said that.
He's making his teammates better.
Which I didn't.
He's making his teammates better. No?
I never made that argument once because I would say the same thing about Tom Brady. I said if you remove Russell Wilson from the Seahawks, they're 2-14. That's how I'm determining value. VALUE. Value.
And you're just ignoring the off the field stuff.
What is that's not how I determine the question.
Like Pierce said,
I agree with Connor 100% on this. 100%.
Like Pierce said, when you think of the NFL, you don't think of Russell Wilson.
That's not how I'm determining the thing value. That's not how I'm determining the word value.
Then change your question.
The question is worded wrong.
The question is name the most valuable athlete in sports, and I just gave it to you, and I said that's my that's my definition of value.
The most valuable athlete in the entire sports world is Russell Wilson. You're saying that to me right now.
That's ridiculous.
That's the worst take you've ever had.
Put me on record.
It's okay for being a dummy.
If you're only determining value by on-field play, then you got to reword the question. Let me just pull this up real quick. I know jersey sales are anything, but Russell Wilson is 14th in the NFL in jersey sales.
When did I ever say
revolutionizing the game?
Field action.
Most valuable, though. Valuable to the whole sport in general, not just valuable to the Seahawks.
This is the argument I'm making. I'm not switching it. I said he is the most valuable player in sports.
He's lucky we can't see his face because there's no way he's keeping a straight face while he's talking.
Zero chance.
Zero. You can hear him giggling in the background.
I would say the second most valuable athlete is LeBron. I would say the third most valuable athlete is Alex Ovechkin. Are you going to disagree? I mean, he is hockey right now. He's going to pass Wayne Gretzky in assists and goals. He means more. Nobody even knows anything about hockey other than Alex Ovechkin is on the Capitals. They're good every single year.
That's not true. Everybody knows who Sidney Crosby is.
The argument you just made for Alex Ovechkin is that he is hockey. You didn't have that same argument for Russell Wilson at all. You just completely contradicted yourself. If we're talking about who is the NFL, then we're going to say Patrick Mahomes. We're going to say Tom Brady. We're going to say Lamar Jackson. We're not going to say Russell Wilson.
I think it's debatable that there's even been a face of the NFL since Peyton Manning retired. I actually genuinely say that.
What?
Wow.
Yep. Tom Brady was more of a face
Tom Brady
than
dead?
Manning.
No, Tom Brady's the GOAT. That's not a comparison. But he was not the most popular player. I'm not saying Russell Wilson's the most popular player right now either. Peyton Manning was the most popular player his entire career.
No.
I don't agree with that by any means.
Peyton Manning was the most popular player in the NFL almost his entire career, maybe take out the first year where he threw 26 picks.
What happened to Tom Brady? Did he die? Did he vanish in the thin air?
No. Peyton Manning is in every single commercial.
After he retired.
Oh, my God. He was – if I'm correct, he was T-Mobile nationwide. Papa
After
John's
he
all
retired.
during.
After he retired.
No, he was during his career also. I mean, you can say that's not true all you want, but we can go look on YouTube right now and see how many commercials he's in during his Colts time.
Who cares about commercials?
I'm just saying, Peyton Manning was the most popular player in the NFL. He was
That's
the
just-
face of the NFL his entire career.
He's
Maybe take
not-
out the first year.
He was not the face. When Peyton Manning was hurt in Indianapolis, you're saying he was the face of the NFL.
He was still the most popular player in the sport.
No chance. That's right.
Argue with Tom Six. Argue with Tom
I'm not.
Six.
I'm not arguing popularity.
He took over the nation when he had Deflategate.
Not in this-
So
I
We
know.
that's
got,
being
less, we
popular.
got less than a minute left. We got
Yeah.
less than a minute here.
Ooh.
This was the oh my god.
Peyton Manning was the face of the NFL his entire football career. Take out the first year.
You're just
Indianapolis
wrong.
and Denver. Doesn't mean
Wrong.
Tom Brady's not the GOAT. He is. Peyton Manning was the face of the NFL in the same way that Derek Jeter was the face of the MLB during his career. Doesn't mean
Okay.
Derek Jeter was the best player in the sport.
See ya.
I'm gonna pull up some jersey sale numbers in the
Pierce, you got
early
1 minute.
2000s, late 2010s, and we're gonna see who is the true leader of the NFL during that time.
You got a minute and 14
You got a minute.
seconds.
What?
But you got a minute left, so hurry up.
Okay, well, I'm done. I also would just like to say thank you guys for having me on today. I would love to come back.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Good. Good
We'll wrap it
intensity.
up. Yeah, the To Be Brutally Honest show, wrapping it up. Thank to the Twitch people. We're going to try and Twitch stream, I guess, every time. Hopefully Peyton can
Figure
get
it
better
out.
Wi-Fi or something. Yeah, it's been good. But it was a good debate, I felt like, there at the end.
I thought it was good.
All right, well, signing
Thanks
off.
for coming on.
All right.
All right. See you guys next time. If you could see me on the screen.
Nope, we can't.
All right. End this.